Alright, so I want to talk about what Explained Simply is, and I'm talking about the series Explained Simply that I'm kind of evolving into. Not like all my videos are turning into this, but Explained Simply is an idea that is stretching the reality of things based on a simple actuality, based on reason, based on logic, based on observing the fundamental nature of things. But now, the idea is obviously not simple, because I'm taking that relative nature and extending it into my own unique idea. And so that can be stretched into something that is completely not simple. Like I said in the interplanetary travel thing, like that's not a simple idea, but it's based upon natural experience and reason of looking and observing the piece of life around me. Now that is the most simple thing we can do, right? Science is kind of silly in that. It's like we think science gives so much power to us, but really it's kind of making us neurotic and needy of all this information, when really all the information is structured within the fundamental actuality of things. And then as a result of being aware and observant of that actuality, all of the things that you need to know just come into you as an intuition, you know? Into it. It comes into it, right? So that's why I think there's power in that, and that's why I'm kind of making that series, is because the fundamental nature of things and the basic observation and awareness of your life around you, of your feelings and experience, the sensations, that is what we know. You know, the philosophical question I was thinking last night, in philosophy class, I've taken this before, it seems like we ask the question, what can we know? And then we go into the mind of thought and we try to define thought in a certain way, in a clever way, for which we can then say one thing, like a mathematical proof, right? In philosophy, they do thought proofs, where it's based on reason and logic and shit like that. But I don't think it stems in thought. What can we know? Here's two things that we know and that everyone experiences. We have sensational boundaries. Atoms are made up of 99.99% space, yet we perceive this as a boundary that is basically physical, and we don't see space. How we perceive the world is based on our sensational inputs. Sight, sound, touch, you know, all those kind of things. All of the sensations. And then as a result of those sensations, we experience a collective feeling. A collective feeling. There's no thought in that. Thought, again, like I've said so many times before, is a limited scope based on symbols and a relative viewpoint of thought. Thought is not encompassing. You cannot completely calculate every single piece of nature at the same time. The only thing that can completely calculate every piece of nature at the same time, and that we all have within us, is nature itself, is the fundamental aspect of the beingness, of the experience. What do we all do? What do we all know? We all know experience. So extending that maybe further, I'll go a little bit. What is something that is motion? What do we know is motion? Good and bad. If something's a bad feeling, it encourages us to move away from it. If something's a good feeling, it encourages us to move towards it. So we think about, what are the bad feelings? Pain. Well, what's the reason for pain? Lack of acceptance, misunderstanding, things like that. That's something that we all experience. What is good? Excitement, love, that is something that we all experience within goodness, right? So I think the philosophical idea of what can we know, then turning into some fucking thought cycle, is not what can we know. What we all know is experience. And experience is the only thing that can calculate itself. Experience, the feeling within us, the resulting feeling of sensation, is the only thing that can collectively experience the wholesomeness of one's life. Not these basic thought ideas and the collection of definitions. That's not going to work. It's going to break down because you can't calculate it all at the same time. I tried to do that. When I was young, I grew up loving philosophy. And I would watch videos after videos after videos, accumulating information and information and information. And as my mind got more and more powerful, I tried to do the impossible. I tried to become God in the mind. And you can't become God by thinking. God is nature. It is the structure of the fundamental piece of everything. The fundamental actuality of everything. Thinking is just a piece of it. Thinking is just the relation between symbols in our physical world and the God source flow. It's the transposition, the translation of the source flow within us. That's how we communicate. We put symbols on the thing inside of us. But the thing inside of us is the actuality. It's the fullness. So what can we know? Experience. Consider it. Be observant and be aware. That's all you need, and your intuition will flow, and everything you need to know within the moment will be available to you, and in your own perfection. You don't need to know what other people need to know. You don't need to know what other people need to know. I'm going to say it again. You don't need to know all the information in the world. You just need to know your information in your time, in your present moment, your information. That's all you need to know. That is how you be harmonious, is knowing yourself. And then you can give yourself, because you're aware of it, you're observant, and then there you go. The flow state's right there, ready for you to use and share. And so, be considerate, be aware, be open, and life will come naturally, as it is natural. So, oh, hello, stick. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I got into a flow state right there. Peace out.